Hey guys, this is Jason from Outdoor Adventures, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about 3-season backpacking clothing. Now, what to look for. There's a lot of clothing out there, and what you really honestly should look for is look at synthetics, polyester, spandex, look for wool. Wool is another good product, but what you want to really stay away from here is something like this. Pair of jeans. Now, what are a pair of jeans made out of? Typically, they're made out of cotton. Now, cotton is great. It's comfortable. Jeans are very rugged. They're comfortable, but they're also very heavy. They don't dry out well when they get wet, and when they do get wet, their performance suffers enormously. So right off the bat, when you're hiking, stay away from cotton products. Now, that being said, you can find a lot of clothing at your cheap retail stores, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Amazons, and you'll get by just fine. There's no need to run to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy, some expensive name brand clothing just because it says it's going to make you into the Incredible Hulk. It's the same exact material across the board. All you're paying for is name brand stuff here. Everything that I'm about to show you as far as all my clothing that I personally wear will be listed in the description box below. All you got to do is click on the link, and I'll just throw an Amazon link up and you can buy it from there if you're interested. Now, you don't have to do that. This is just what I wear. So the first thing we're going to talk about, everyone's favorite topic, underwear. Now, I personally like, as a guy, I like boxer briefs. I feel they're very comfortable. They don't give me any kind of chafing, which is absolutely miserable on the trail. I've had underwear that have chafed me to all hell and back, and it's just the most miserable thing while you're hiking. This is just a standard boxer brief. It's Champion brand. You can get these up at Target. Look in the description box, but they are the synthetic, moisture-wicking polyester spandex blend, and these are very, very comfortable. The next thing, pair of pants. Now, what I like is the zip-off pants. This particular model, Columbia Silver Ridge, they actually come with a belt, very lightweight nylon belt. These are also made of nylon, and the best part about these is in warmer weather, I can just zip off the bottoms. They're convertible zip-off pants, so this works out really well. Now, for temperatures above 40 degrees, which is what I consider 3-season, these work fantastic. In the mornings or at night or at camp, I will leave the bottoms on, and then in the afternoon when it starts to warm up, as I'm hiking, I will just zip the bottoms off, throw them in the pack, and then I will have a nice pair of shorts. Now, as far as the upper layer, this is a polyester shirt. Again, very, very cheap. You can find these in the description box, but I like hiking in short sleeves. It's just more comfortable for me. If it gets in the lower 50s, I will pair this short sleeve shirt up and put this over top of it. This is just basically the same thing as this, but it's in long sleeves. So you'll have 2 layers. Remember, you can always take layers off. You just can't add layers to your pack. And what I mean by that is take the appropriate clothing for the temperature range that you're going to be in. And that is just going to take some experimentation on your part. Now, obviously, if it was above 60 degrees for the whole trip, I would not bring this long sleeve shirt. I would just opt for this one shirt, and that would be it. Now, as far as socks, this is just what I prefer. This is a spandex polyester, and I think there's a little bit of wool in here. I could be wrong. It's just all blended together, and it's very, very comfortable. These are a little bit lighter cushioned than these. I will usually bring 2 pairs of socks at the most. If it's just a simple overnight, I will only bring 1 pair of socks, but it's nice to have a dry pair of socks, and then midway through the day, I will switch into the other pair of socks and, try to wash the original pair that I was hiking in from the morning. Now, by the time the next day rolls in, these should be dry as long as it's, the right temperature. You just hang them on the outside of your backpack and you're good to go. These socks are a little bit less cushiony. These are just standard bicycle socks, and I will bring these on shorter day hikes. or when I know there's a lot of stream crossings, because these dry out incredibly fast. I'm talking 3 hours, these will be completely dry. So as far as things I wear on my head to keep the sun away and the sweat out of my eyes, this is really all I bring. This is a buff, which is just a seamless tube of material. It's very, very comfortable. This is multi-purpose. You can wipe the sweat off of your arms. You can, put water on this and put it on your head. You can put it in the back of your neck. Very, very multi-purpose. You can do a lot of things with this. I wear it like a bandana, like a pirate's hat kind of thing, and that's just how I feel comfortable. I usually soak this in a bug spray repellent, which I'm going to get into in just a second here. But this is all I'll usually bring. Now, a ball cap is fine. A fisherman's hat is fine. Some kind of wide-brimmed cowboy hat is totally fine. It's just personal preference here. But this is just what I bring. Since it's so versatile, so multi-purpose, this is just what I like to bring. The original buff. Now, I consider this part of my clothing system. This is how much I use this product. Everyone is very fearful of getting Lyme's disease, and this is a great way to prevent Lyme's disease from even happening. What you do is you look up the instructions on this. I'm not trying to preach to you that this is the greatest product in the world. All I know is that it works very well for me. But what you do is you hang your clothes up, you take them outside, and you spray your clothes. You give so many ounces per article of clothing. And what that'll do is, as soon as a bug, a tick really, lands on your clothing, it'll have a nervous reaction and it will just either walk away, drop off your clothing, or fly away, depending on what kind of bug it is. This works out fantastic. I highly recommend this. This is just Sawyer permethrin. You can find these up at REI. They sell them on Amazon. I'm assuming any outdoor store will carry this type of thing. But I would highly recommend treating your clothes, because I have had several ticks on me, and I always check myself very well before I go to bed, before I change into any kind of clothing. I've had ticks in certain places, and I don't want to get Lyme's disease, so this is how I protect myself from it. That, and I use deep bug spray. Now, as far as my sleeping clothes, now some people don't do this. Most people actually don't do this, but I am a very, very light sleeper, and the more comfort I can get, the better. So what I opt to do here, since cotton is so comfortable, I actually sleep in a cotton t-shirt and some cotton Ninja Turtle pajamas. Now, if you're going to rock pajamas, you have to get some type of cartoon or some kind of ridiculous print on your pajamas, or else you're just not going to be cool enough. And that's what I do. The only reason I do this instead of just sleeping in my hiking clothes is because I can keep my bags clean, my hammock, my underquilt, my sleeping quilt, and I can keep all that stuff clean. But that's just what I do. It's not necessarily what I'm telling you to do. Now, inevitably, there will come a time where you have to hike in the rain. And, most people don't look forward to that. I know I don't. I prefer nice partly cloudy weather at 70 degrees, but it doesn't always happen when you're out there. So what I opt to do, and you can go very, very cheap here. There's a product called Frog's Togs. They're $16, and for that price you get a rain jacket, waterproof rain jacket, and you get waterproof pants, pull-on pants. And, it's fine. You might look like you're in a painter's suit, but they are perfectly fine. They don't weigh that much. I think they're like 11 ounces or something. And they're pretty good. They're very, very cheap. So that's fine if you want to go that route. What I personally do, since we're talking about 3-season weather, stuff above 40 in my opinion, what I like to do is I like to just take a waterproof jacket, like the jacket you see in front of me. This is, I believe this is made of Pertex. I could be completely wrong about that. But it's a very, very light waterproof material, and I haven't had any issues, getting the tops of my body wet. Now, if it's raining really hard, all the rain will run down this material and they'll get onto your pants. So what I sometimes do, and it's fine in the warmer climates, but if it's really cold, sometimes I'll just take this these pair of pants. And what these are just a cheap pair of running pants that I got up at Walmart, and these will be perfectly acceptable. I think these were like, I don't even remember, like 15 bucks. But you have to make sure they're waterproof. You know, run this under the bathtub or something for a little bit. Make sure they're waterproof. But for the most part, I will just use the jacket because my pants that I was talking about, they're made of nylon and they dry extremely fast, especially if you're moving and it's windy. If you don't want to wear rain pants, there's also a kilt or a skirt that you can purchase from DutchwearGear.com and a lot of other places. Now, Dutchwear's is made of a sil nylon, and what it does, it just wraps around your body, and it cinches with a piece of shot cord, I believe. I was actually thinking about buying this in the fall whenever it gets a little colder because it's kind of miserable if the rain's hitting you really hard, the wind's blowing, and it's cold temperatures. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. For beginners, at least, I would recommend, and this helps with organization in the start as well, but I would recommend a 6 to 8 liter dry sack. And what that means is basically these things are waterproof. You can find these pretty cheap on Amazon. I think you can get like a 3-pack for $10. This one is the Cedar Summit, so it's a little bit more expensive. But what you'll do is you'll take your extra clothing, you know, your socks, perhaps your jacket, your sleeping clothes, and what we'll do is we'll just shove all that stuff in here. Now, normally I would fold these to get the maximum amount of space out of this, but I would put it in here, get the air out, and then I will fold this bag down. And what that will do is it will make it completely waterproof, and I will just throw this in the bottom of my backpack for when I'm going to need it. Now, the reason I'm saying to buy one of these, like I said before, it helps with the organization of your backpack, and you don't have any loose clothes. Whenever you stop for lunch, you're not, you know, dropping clothes out of your bag. You're not missing an extra pair of socks. Everything is going to be contained in this small clothes bag. And you're not going to have to worry about it getting wet because it's going to be completely waterproof. Now, that's just what I recommend. That's what I personally do. Still, I do this. And, you know, I think it's a great idea for anyone. I keep this as an 8-liter bag. And I think 6 to 8 liters is perfect. What you can do is you can multi-purpose this. You can use it in 3-season weather. And then when you're ready to dabble into winter camping, you can still have enough room in this for all your extra clothes that you're going to bring on a winter camping trip. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about are gaiters. Now, if you've decided to go with trail runners, I highly recommend that you buy these gaiters because if you've gone on a hike already, what you've probably noticed is that, you know, leaves or dirt or rocks have been getting in your shoe, whether it's from the mesh or it's from where your foot goes in. But what you'll do is you'll slide your leg through here, and then this will clip onto your shoe, and there's a little piece of Velcro on the back to help hold it down. These will keep all the debris out of your shoe, your feet happy, and it's well worth the, I think these are like $20 or something, but it's well worth the price, and they barely weigh anything. So guys, I know a lot of the stuff in this video is no-brainer kind of stuff, but I did want to get the point across on what I would do with some of my clothes and my ideas behind my clothes. Now, this does take a little bit of experimentation to figure out what kind of stuff you feel comfortable in, what kind of stuff you want to wear, and your temperature ranges. So again, check that description box below and you'll see a whole bunch of other resources for you to check out. So guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll be happy to get back to you. And guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps somebody.